Hello guys, this is the SWTOR guy here. Welcome back to another top 5. There has been a lot of iconic characters are released into this game. And since this is the 5-year anniversary, or really close to a 5-year anniversary, I want to try to remember some of the few iconic characters who's actually in the game. But I'm not gonna go for the Kotat or the Knights of the Fallen Empire Kot Fi characters. I'm gonna leave it to that to another top 5. But for this top 5, I'm just gonna go for the original characters who just came into the game, and yeah, some of the characters who I think it's really important to the game, or just became iconic at some points. Maybe these are bosses, maybe these are just into the game or at some point. But here are the top 5 iconic characters in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Coming in at number 5, let's start with the funny one, General Garza. I know this is a weird one, but a lot of fans became this character is one of their favorites. Her character is just the simple rule, but the reason why she became so iconic is actually because of her butt. In case you didn't saw that in game, that is also a weird thing, but a lot of players who just said, wow, that butt. But anyway, that is one of the main characters when you're doing the trooper class storyline, and that character in general I think is just a decent character, but it became iconic thanks to her butt, I guess. Coming in at number 4 is Darth Jadis. Darth Jadis is the main character for the Imperial Agent storyline, and the Imperial Agent storyline is, a lot of people saying is definitely the best storyline in Star Wars: The Old Republic, original class storyline has ever released in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now that one in particular is amazing. I done that, of course, and to be perfectly honest, it is one of the best. I think not the best, but one of the best for sure. And Darth Jadis is the main character, or the main villain, should I say, in that storyline, and to implementing that is amazing. And a lot of people, for example, on the last or one of the last or previous live streams, when they are talked about story, they want to bring that character back at some point. Hopefully we gotta see that, but it became a really good icon. It's almost good as our number 3, which we're going in right now, which is coming in at number 3, Darth Malgus. The reason why obviously it's in there, it's obviously the main villain of the original Star Wars: The Old Republic game. So that is really weird to just as an Imperial character or Republic, that is an understandable thing, but for an Empire character to, I said Imperial, anyway, to go in all of the flashpoints, he's talking about a lot, and he was the leader of us at some point, and we just defeated him at the False Emperor, and that's it. And we never heard of him. And it's supposed to be the main character. We have the statues for the collector's edition and stuff like that. But in the main game, there is the thing where you obviously heard of him through the stories, through the flashpoints, through the things. But other than that, there is nothing else you need to worry or do. And Darth Malgus is, of course, the main villain. That is why it became a little bit iconic. But Darth Jadis is almost more like an iconic character, more iconic than Darth Malgus. But it is not at the moment. Coming in at number 2 is Revan. Now, if you done the Taro 5 or Maelstrom Prison or the Imperial 1, the boarding party and the Foundry, at the beginning you saw Revan there. And obviously for the Maelstrom Prison there is nothing much you saw there. But in the Foundry there is a little bit more, and there is a little bit of backstory of KOTOR and things like that, and obviously the reason why it became iconic is because of the KOTOR game, and also they bring like a whole expansion to Revan. Like, the Revan was the main character, and BioWare decided to bring him back for one more run, and still a lot of fans like excited, where is Revan? And where are we going? I don't want to see too much of Revan, to be perfectly honest. Maybe some like talks and things like that, but other than that I don't want to see Revan anymore, because it's like too much of the Revan and Starforge and KOTOR stuffs, I think, because this is a different game and I want to see different stuffs, obviously. But of course Revan is the main or iconic character, the original character, the iconic character for the Old Republic era itself. So obviously it's not gonna miss from this game as well. Now, before we're gonna go to number 1, we have a few honorable mentions this time, so not one or two, actually 3 of them. Let's go first of all with the good old HK-47. HK-47 obviously was Revan's best friend through the games, through the game of KOTOR, obviously 1 and 2. And on 3 we saw HK-47 only one time or two, or actually 2 times in the Maelstrom Prison, or the Maelstrom Prison is not in there actually, the Foundry, or in the whatever it's called, the Flashpoint, not the False Emperor, but the other one. I don't know, I forgot the name. Basically, we saw HK there, which is actually pretty good. But of course, there is one more where we can like literally see him and literally like fighting him as a really good boss, and that is at the end of Temple of Sacrifice when we're fighting against Revan. Obviously the character became iconic at the start of the Old Republic genre or things like that. At the old, like the Star Wars The Old Republic, in this game there is not much. There is like instead we have like copies of him. We have HK-51, which is, I don't think it's like a really good HK. At the beginning it was like really cool to have at least an HK unit, but HK-55 instead is much more and much better, because they bringing that HK unit much more story than 51, because the 51 storyline, the theoretic, I think is also alright. I'm not gonna say it's really good, but the HK-55 story is much more better and much more closer to the 47 storylines. And obviously they copying HK-47, and there is no other HK-47, just one HK-47 left, and that is the best, of course, and the best assassin, and the best droid, and the best who can say meatbags forever. Now, Darth Maul, it became iconic when the Shadow Revan or the Forged Alliance started to come in the game, but it became like really good character at the start of the Knights of the Fallen Empire. And obviously this is a little bit an exception, but the reason why I talking about Darth Maul, spoilers obviously, because he's gonna die at the first chapter, so it doesn't really matter how much you saw him at the beginning, but obviously the character is just trying to serve the Empire and things like that, and he's doing it pretty well. Like the armor set, the talk, and everything in individual, that character is just so good, and a lot of people want to bring him back as well, but that's not gonna happen, to be perfectly honest. But still, he's gonna be an iconic one for sure. And the third one is gonna be the funny one, and it's gonna be Cephas. Who else? Kefis is, in case you didn't know, Kefis is the boss of Explosive Conflict, the last boss, and Kefis is supposed to be like one of the Dread Guards or Dread Guards chosen one, and the Dread Guards, Dread Warriors, Dread Masters. Finally, I got the word. So the Dread Masters chosen one, and they decided to bring him back as well at one point from Terra from Beyond as the fourth boss. And that was also pretty crap, to be perfect. In the Nova, that was pretty good, actually, and pretty hard back in the day. Now, not so much. But Kefis became a general, like, iconic, funny meme in Star Wars The Old Republic. Like, every time, like, wanted to see a boss fight, just bring Kefis back and we're done. So, it became, like, an iconic thing. Kefis has just became a meme, an iconic meme actually, who, if just want to bring somebody back, just bring Kefis back, he's always back, and things like that. He became an iconic meme for Star Wars The Old Republic. But that's all. Let's go into number 1, and in case you didn't know that, it's pretty obvious, it's Satele Shan. Satele Shan is obviously the girl of Bastila Shan, but obviously Satele Shan is the only character who started the game actually, and she is still in, oops, I don't want to log out, and she's still in the game. Like, she's still doing talks, she's still doing a little bit of story with us and things like that, and that is pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that character is the longest iconic character in this game, and obviously the number 1 is why, actually, because it's an iconic character. Like, every time you see or just hear, you heard that voice of hers, it's just an iconic voice. And there is also a lot of also really good characters, but these are like pretty much mine and a lot of people's. Like, I try to collect a lot of people's opinions, and that is why that is how I made it. But maybe, of course, everybody has different opinions. So if you have a different iconic character who you really like and you missed in this top 5, let me know in the comment section below, because I want to hear or want to see your opinions. Now, don't worry, I don't forget about the companions and the coated ones and things like that. I don't forget that one. But the companions are gonna be on a different top 5, and the coated ones as well, because I wanted to merge the cut fee and coated thing in overall, because the Knights of the Eternal Throne is gonna be the end, and I can see what the iconic characters are. There is now obviously 3 there, but I want to see if there is more in there. So yeah, that was this top 5. I know this was a long one, but I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.